Okay, there we go. Now that that little bit of stuff is done. Hello, everyone. Um, it's Shade Rock. Go, give me 1 second. Okay, there we go. Yeah. Sorry. It's been a. I know it's been a little bit since we last streamed. We decided to get back into the swing of it. I just got back. Still a little jet lagged, but promised we'd start this today. So let's get started on Persona 3. I got some stuff to talk about with this game. Or Persona 3 Reload. I've got some stuff to talk about this, but we'll talk about it as we start the game. I'll leave the online features on. And we get a nice sleek opening.
Crazy how time flies when I wonder if the path is in the right direction. But I do believe things come to light by accident. When your name's on, sounds like it's meant to be.
Wake up, the space made when things fall apart. What matters at the ending's how you left them all. Fire in my soul, fire in my heart. Till you see me on the other side of stars.
Oh, the journey starts from where we did first step. No one's sure what lies ahead before it breaks. Rose maybe, rough and tough, the way we live somewhere.
Nothing easy, get up and go, get it go.
Sometimes this journey is about cliches, not about the destination of the world. No matter how far,
No matter how far,
how you go,
how you go,
how long can you
Ain't
live?
no time to waste. Gotta set your light, go get it burning.
So yeah, welcome to Persona 3 Reload. This will actually make it so that I have officially covered one of every single SMT style game on my channel. What I mean by this is Atlus has currently three different game mode styles that they run. I say the three because there are the older Megami Tensei games that they play similar to games that are available today, but different at the same time. But talk about the games we covered from Atlus already on the channel. There was, oh god, a while back now, Shin Megami Tensei 5, which was the most recent Shin Megami Tensei game. That is available on the channel. I'm gonna do. This is gonna start out with me plugging a lot of my older work. I do apologize, but there is a point. They each have different styles. I'll talk about those differences when we get to combat. But yeah. So we started with SMT5 a couple years ago. Last year we covered Soul Hackers 2, which had the Sabbath system. Completely different system for Persona. Persona 3 is Reload here is a remake of Persona 3, meant to be in line more to the original release of the PS2 build of Persona, or release of Persona 3. Now there is gameplay mechanics are the biggest alteration to this game. They've pretty much reworked combat from the ground up to be more in line with Persona 5. which is not a bad thing. It is actually a very good thing because Persona 3's combat is very dated. To explain, for those who have never played the original PS2 build or the FE or the Fez build of Persona 3, you could not control your party members. They all operated completely by AI and would do stupid decisions. This has been rectified. This was rectified in the portable version for the PSP, but there's no content from those two versions brought over with the there's one thing brought over, and that's a social link, because there was a character in the original Persona 3 who did not have a social link, but her social link was added in the Fez build, and that has been brought over. A lot of people are really hung up on... I'm just going to bring up the config menu. Actually, oh, it's still using my Steam Deck settings. Okay. We're going to fix that really quick. Good thing I checked this. But, a lot of people are really hung up by the one element of portable that wasn't brought over. It's not that big of a deal, to be honest. If they added this element in DLC, that'd be really cool. But it would have required writing a whole second story of social links. I'm trying to think if there's anything else to talk about before we start. Yeah, the only other change they did is, like, they adjusted some of the... well, not some of the translation. They changed some of the dialogue and stuff. Because some of it was very much of the time. But the main goal was, from my understanding, to keep the spirit of Persona 3. Which I've never finished a run of Persona 3. Actually, a little thing. I've never finished a run of Persona in general. Also, disclaimer, as you can see, I have already been playing for a little bit. I'm on 6:14 right now. I have not completed the game. I'm going to keep playing it. This is not going to be a blind playthrough because I have been playing it. But, there are things I've learned in this run that and also thanks to my, friend PK, I've learned certain things so I don't make some stupid mistakes I made in my run. Did we talk about the element from Persona 3 Portable that a lot of people are getting hung up on not being in this one, and I've seen quite a few people bring it up, is Persona 3 Portable added a second story mode where you would actually be able to play as a female character. The main thing is you'd get an entirely different set of social, or almost entirely different set of social links. In particular, Persona 3 is kind of weird with some of its social links for people coming from Persona 4 and 5. But I'll talk about that when we get into social links. Bye, small dog. I missed you and you don't want to hang. Okay. So, talk about difficulties. So, we have, as you can see, we have 5 different difficulty modes. Peaceful, which is, if you are defeated, you will auto-revive. There's not really much for me to say there. You will auto-revive. I dislike this one because I feel it's not in the spirit of the game. Like, it's one of those things that if you die, you should just go back, grind up, set up some new personas. Though Persona 3 is a bit weird with its grinding, and we'll talk about that later. Low stress combat, and if it's your first SMT game, very much would recommend actually. If you've never, oh god. Sorry about that. Dog was being a brat. Yeah, SMT is notoriously pretty difficult. Some of them aren't as... I'll be honest, SMT isn't as difficult as it used to be. If you're coming off of... In terms of JRPGs, if you've only played Final Fantasy or games of its style, there's a lot of differences in SMT. But, I'm trying to think here if there's anything else to say. It is not as hard as some of the older titles. Now, Persona 3's beginning is not unique, but it is difficult, and I'll talk about why when we get into the meat of this game. Normal, we will actually be starting on normal until my first dungeon run. And I'll talk about why when we get into that dungeon run. But then afterwards, we will be switching over to hard. We'll not be playing Merciless. Merciless is brutal. We're not doing Merciless. We're doing normal. Like I said, starting normal, and then we'll switch to hard later. Yep, download content has been detected, which is going to be the Persona 4 and 5 sets. And we also have Personas from both those games, and they are available in the Velvet Room. We'll talk about that later. Time waits for no one. All are equal in its flow. All lives born to their ends. You, who would protect this glimmer of finite future. You have a single year. Go forth and live in the time given to you. Even if in these halcyon days of repose, let your heart guide you. Fun little thing actually. Persona 3 has a webtoon being, I believe, I don't think it's written or like what his full involvement is, but Merryweather Media is actually in charge of it. Yeah, that's a thing. Whoa, was that some tearing? Keep an eye on, see if that appears. Listening to Burn My Dread.
To my head,
Good song, good song.
and then pull the trigger.
Can we show this on Twitch? I'm kidding, I'm kidding.
There's no way I can't.
Persona 3 out of context is really horrible.
Your attention, please. Today's train schedule will be modified due to a rail switching malfunction. We apologize for any inconvenience. The next stop is Iwatodai.
And a blue butterfly.
Iwatoda. This is
The blue butterfly, in all honesty, has somewhat lost its meaning to a lot of the Persona community. Mostly because it really has not gone into full detail as to what the fuck it is in a long time. The blue butterfly, though, is very important. And the moon's green. Better hurry up. Ignore all the blood and everything. But yeah, the blue butterfly was very important because there was a character called Philemon in the past. Philemon used to... I'm probably also mispronouncing its name. PK would probably come in and yell at me over that. He was the one who handled awakening personas in Persona 1 and 2. But in Persona 3 and 4, he's taken a reduced role, and I don't even think he's present in Persona 5. The reason I say he's taken a reduced role in Personas 3 and 4 is he has no speaking role in these games, but the blue butterfly is implied to be him. Well, because that's what he took, the form he took. I believe he actually directly speaks to a character in extended content from Fez, but also, yeah, no, nothing to be worried about this. Mr. Oblivious protagonist here. I'm gonna leave auto running. Yep. Welcome to Persona 3 Reload.
Welcome. You're late. I've been waiting a long time.
Oh, cool! They got a magic ghost boy.
If you wish to proceed, sign your name here. It's a contract. There's no need to be scared. All it says is that you accept full responsibility for your actions.
I do not. Choose this fate of mine own free will. So, every Persona protagonist does have a canon name, though I believe there are usually two versions of their name. There's an anime version and a manga version. I've heard Ren of Persona 5 has had like the most variants of his name. Yu Narukami of Persona 4, while Yu Narukami is the name a lot of people know, he does have a different name from my understanding. But for our character's name here in Persona 3, I'm going to use the same name that is currently being used in the webtoon for Persona, which is Makoto Yuki. Okay, so it is the default name. Hang on a second. I want to double check. Just make sure I get the order right. Actually, I think it's supposed to be Yuki Makoto. Well, no, I'm actually going to swap the names anyway, just so that way I can separate it from my personal file.
Good. Time is something no one can escape. It delivers us all to the same end. You can't plug your ears or cover your eyes. And so, it begins.
Huh. Did we just sign a contract with death?
Who's there?
Hello? Is that a gun?
How are you here at this hour? Don't tell me. Wait!
Oh, lights back on.
The lights! I didn't think you'd arrive so late.
Why is everyone here strapped?
My name is Mitsuru Kirijo. I'm one of the students who live in the storm.
Who's he?
He's a transfer student. It was a last-minute decision to assign him here. He'll eventually be moved to a room in the boys' dorm.
Is it okay for him to be here?
I guess we'll see. This is Yukari Takeba. She'll be a second year this spring, just like you.
Yeah, Yuki here
Call me Takeba.
is He is dense. Or not dense, he's just the master of not giving a shit. As you can see, we just walked here with pools of blood everywhere and coffins, and he just questions fucking nothing. Why do you have... This is a very good question.
Huh? Well, it's sort of like a hobby? I mean, not a hobby, but...
You know how it is these days.
No.
It's for self-defense. It's not a real gun, of course. It's getting late. You'll find your room at the end of the hall on the second floor. Your things should already be there. Why don't you get some rest?
Well, I'll show you the way. Follow me.
So, while these opening cutscenes are playing, because there's a lot of these,
Here's your room.
talk about how
Easy to
I'm going to be
remember,
handling
huh?
stream schedule
Since
for
it's all the way
Persona
at the
3.
end here.
My
do you have
goal
any
is to
questions?
get through a full cycle of the moon. This first one's going to be a little bit longer. Okay, it's not a full cycle of the moon. No, that's wrong. My goal is to make it in a full run of the dungeon. Sometimes there'll be a little bit more than others, because it all depends on time cap. Because as it said in the opening, we have 1 year. Yeah, what the fuck did I just sign?
Huh? Contract? What are you talking about? Can I ask you something? On your way here from the station, was everything okay?
Yeah, everything was perfectly normal. I saw nothing wrong.
Well, okay. Don't worry about it then. I'd better get going. I'm sure you still have questions, but let's save them for later, okay? Good night.
Okay, yeah, I'm tired. Welcome to our dorm room for the our which will be our home for the next year. So this, okay, I'm gonna leave this all go because that's tutorials, and like so you press H at any point to save. But the other thing, and this is unique to Persona 3 Reload, I do not believe, if I remember correctly, that this was in Persona 5. Now, I will say, I kind of hope they keep it going forward. And that is the rewind mechanic. So, yeah, okay. So, basically, the way rewind works, as you can see, we have my two saves here. We have my two different saves, my personal file and our stream file now. Rewind only has the one slot. It will retain the past 5 actions you have performed. So before we go any further to talk about this really quick, as I said before, we've covered Soul Hackers and SMT on Shin Megami Tensei 5 on this channel. The difference between the 3 games in terms of the way they handle their story is Soul Hackers was kind of the balance of the two. Shin Megami Tensei is much more focused on combat. The narrative is important, but its combat is is a lot more about walking around and fighting. Persona is a lot more on the roleplay elements. There's a whole bunch of things related to just interacting with characters in the world. Okay, let's check the DLC I've got really quick. Okay, the content from the DLC is going to be, as you can see, we've received 10 Yasogami uniforms, 10 Shujin uniforms, a Phantom suit, the red latex suit, a pirate armor, prince suit, Metal Rider, Cyber Gear, Musketeer, Outlaw, Dark, and Morgana Classic. Those are all outfits from Persona 4 and 5, the Yasogami outfit in particular being the Persona 4 outfit. There is already rumors about 2 more Persona. Well, one's a remaster, one's a remake. Supposedly they are in the works. The remaster that is in the grapevine is going to be a complete, definitive edition of Persona 2. Which I am taking with a huge grain of salt because Atlus like fucking acknowledging Persona 2. I don't think that's happening. But the other one is there's a rumor that Persona 4 might get the same treatment as Reload. I would kind of like it because I like Persona 4 and I would like to see it have the quality of life improvements that Persona 3 here got.
Good morning. Did you sleep okay?
Yeah, there's gonna
I've been asked
Persona's
to
been
show you the way to
gonna
school.
go on for
Are
a
you
little
ready to
bit.
go?
As I've been playing through on my own file, I have been writing down my actions I've been taking on certain days.
This is how we'll be getting to school every
Now,
day. It's a monorail.
I might be
Pretty
like
cool,
juggling
huh?
a couple different things that I've done
I
over
honestly
my
love
run.
the ride here. It almost feels like we're flying over the ocean. Oh, by the way, our school's at the last stop on this line. It's called Tatsumi Port Island. Have
My
you heard of it?
main goal.
The whole thing's man-made, and our school's smack dab in the middle. look,
The main goal,
there it is
in
now.
all honesty, is gonna be the closest we're getting, I think, to a 100% playthrough on this channel because I'm going for max social links, which
Morning.
it's going to require a lot of
Well, here we are. Allow me to welcome you to Gekukan High School. I hope you like it.
Well, maxing out all your social links in this game is not nearly as hard as like Persona 5.
Let's see.
It is still walking a bit of a tightrope.
The faculty office is over there on the left. They'll tell you more when you get there. Oh, that about does it. Any questions?
Nah. Go to the faculty. You know, yeah, what class are you in?
Me? I don't know. I haven't looked at the classroom assignments yet. Hey, about last night. Don't tell anyone what you saw, okay? See you.
I mean, I clearly saw nothing. Okay, Persona 3 Reload really did decide to keep in line with some of the simpler mechanics of Persona 3 compared to 4 and 5, which is so... Oh, wait. Okay, good. That works. I was about to say, please don't tell me I have to do that. You know what? Give me 1 second. Let me plug in my controller, because... Yeah, this just plays better with a controller. There we go. Yeah, because... can I pull them up right now? Does not look like it. Persona 4 and 5, there are a bunch of well, actually, I'll talk about them when the tutorial for them comes up. No, let's not enter yet. I think I know why there's some tearing going on. There you go. Because I have it set to turn that on. And yeah, I did turn off VSync. That would do it. Oh, there we go. That's so much better. Because there was some tearing that was going on every so often. Yeah, if we walk around here, you're actually going to be able to see a couple people who we will be talking to later.
Homeroom teacher is... What? Miss Toriumi? I guess she is older than me.
What?
But I was hoping to be with Miss Kano.
My man, you're weird.
Cuz, what are you doing? Why are you wearing a jersey?
If you see anyone with a portrait, they are
what do you
going to
mean,
be
why?
important.
We've got practice after class, remember?
But we've got to attend the opening ceremony and go to class before all that. Hurry and head into your classroom so you can change into your normal uniform.
What? But I just... Okay, fine. Just quit glaring at me. So where's the bulletin board with all the class assignments?
It's literally right there, Cause. You're in class F. I'm in a different homeroom, so I can't keep an eye on you all the time. You got that?
Yeah, this is the place where we're going to be spending the next year, and these are the people we are going to be spending it with. But yeah, I was somewhat
you the new student?
surprised by some of the elements that they kept in terms of like,
You're a second year, correct?
it's no secret that
Wow,
Persona
you've lived in a lot of
has
different
had
places.
gone to
Let's
have a lot
see,
deeper
10 years
mechanics
ago, your
over the
parents-
years. 4 and 5, but 4 in particular
sorry.
reworked
I've
a
been so busy,
lot
I
of
didn't have
stuff.
time to read this beforehand. I'm Ms. Toriumi.
In terms
I teach
of the
composition.
social stats.
Welcome to our school.
What's your first name?
You don't need to know my first name. Don't ask such things of a teacher.
Aw. You know, we were trying to help out that one kid. Maybe I could have gone through if I had enough charm. So, yep, as you saw there, we have the charm
You're
stat.
in 2F. That's
There
my
are
class.
3 types of
But
social
first,
stats
we
in
need
this
to go to the
game.
auditorium.
Academics,
The welcoming ceremony will be
charm,
starting soon.
and
Come on,
courage.
I'll show you the way.
They will increase as we go through the game. There are various methods to increase them. We'll talk about that as we can start doing them.
If a job's worth doing, it's worth doing well. When applied to student life, this means
This first day, these first few days, there's going to be nothing happening.
You came to school with Takeba-san this morning, right? I saw you two walking together. You must be pretty close, huh? What's the deal between you and her? Oh, and, does she have a boyfriend? Nobody seems to know.
I don't know, I just met her.
Oh, really? I thought you might know, but guess not. Wait, how close are you guys?
Who's that? Someone's talking. Sounds like it's coming from Miss Toriumi's class.
Hey, shh. Be quiet. You're gonna get me in trouble.
Sup, dude? How's it going? What? Don't look at me like that.
Who are you?
Me? Call me Junpei. Junpei Iori. I transferred here when I was a second year in middle school. It's pretty tough being the new kid at first, you know? So I just wanted to say, hey, see what a nice guy I am? Hey, it's Yuka-tan! Didn't think we'd be in the same class again.
There you go again. Acting like everybody's best friend. Try not to make him uncomfortable, okay?
What? I was just being friendly.
I mean, you
You
just
say
came
so.
up to me and started.
Anyway, who'd have thought we'd be in the same homeroom?
Yeah, kind of crazy.
Funny, huh?
Hello? Are you forgetting I'm in this class too? Anyway, I gotta ask. I heard you guys walk to school together.
What's up with that?
Come on, give me the dirt.
Huh? What are you talking about? We just happen to live in the same dorm. Why do people always jump to conclusions? Have rumors been spreading about this already? Now I'm worried. Hey, you didn't tell anyone about you know what, did you?
The you-know-what?
Don't tell me you forgot already. Seriously, don't say anything about last night, okay? What?
You stepped on that landmine.
Night?
Wait a minute, don't get the wrong idea. Listen, I just met him yesterday, and there is absolutely nothing between us. Jeez, I have to go now. There's something I need to take care of for the archery team. You
I
better
love
not
how
start
we
any
just
more
say
rumors.
nothing. Just look between the two, just like, yes, we are here.
Ah, who cares? No one takes rumors seriously anyway. She's so paranoid. But hey, it's your first day here, and people are already talking about you. Believe it or not, she's actually pretty popular. You're the man. Well, here's to a fun school year, dude. You ready to head out? We can walk to the station together. Yo!
There's nothing really to do right now. We can talk to various people in the school and like, just hear some stuff about it. There's no real benefit if you just want some nice little flavor text. You also, like I said earlier, you can kind of talk to people and get an idea of like some of the characters we'll be interacting with over the course of the game.
Go. That's right.
Yeah, there's nothing to really do on this first day.
Oh, check out the jocks on their run. Say, you thinking about joining the club? Oh, wait. New members gotta wait a while before they can apply. Your stop's at Iwatodai, right? Worms, man. Must be nice. Talk about living life wild and free. Well, I'm going this way, so see you tomorrow.
Okay, from here on out, we're going to be interacting with the world through this world map. We press X, we can see what everything was available at a different location. So, for example, here at the Station Strip Mall, there is the Bookworms shop. There's multiple cafes. The cafes all have various things we're going to be doing at them, but we can't do anything yet. To be honest, for these first few days until the game really opens up, you're just going to be going through the motions.
Welcome back.
I mean, it was not too bad.
Yes.
So dance. If you wanna go ahead, free to do whatever. I'm chilling on my bed. I'm out in my biz, so mind your own biz. Whatever life is, we gon' flow with this end. Hey, 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 feeling the fire with the burning desire every day. We inspire, but never expires. But we gon' chill today. Let me rock the world.
One thing to talk about, this game's going to be a little bit more like Soul Hackers 2 than Persona 5. Not Persona, than Shin Megami Tensei 5. Because anyone who remembers the SNT5 streams back when I first did that, there was a lot of stuff I had to go over, like character builds, like stats, skills, all that.
I know.
Not really a thing in
Cases
this
of
game.
apathy syndrome are suddenly developing in people who showed
What?
no symptoms prior. It's been quite a topic of discussion. They say it's due to stress, but
Yeah, right. It's gotta be them. Otherwise, it's not worth my time.
you have a one-track mind. Will you be okay out there on your own?
Don't worry. I'm just getting a little practice.
As you see in...
This isn't a game, Akihiko.
No, to him it is. There's a thing you notice in the lower left. It says forward. You can press start at any point and it will accelerate the dialogue. I'm not going to use it too often. For future reference, I might use it for some of the classroom scenes, and I'm definitely going to be using it for certain miscellaneous events. Like, there are different things you can do around the map that will be just that are characters like eating certain food or playing a game or something like that. I'm going to accelerate through that because there's no real difference. But now that we're actually in our first full day, I should have talked about this before. The way that the day is broken up, there is early morning, during school. Well, there's usually like before school, early morning, which can sometimes be just completely skipped. It's usually used for a cutscene or if a character has to say something beforehand. Usually it'll just be like a conversation between students or you walking up to the school and a party member interrupt or a social link interrupting you to talk about something. Then sometimes there is a lunch event. This is usually someone needs to talk to you. 9 out of 10 times it's the party. Then sometimes in the early morning or the afternoon, you will have this, where it'll be a lesson and you will have to answer a question. Or another prompt will come up. We'll talk about that later. Then afterwards we have after school, which is where you can do a lot of your interactions with the world. Right now all those interactions are locked until we get the ability to talk about social links, which we probably are not going to be able to talk about this stream. Just the way my calendar is set, we won't be doing any social links today. Today is just going to be getting into the dungeon and getting used to combat. This is pretty much the introductory stream to Persona 3. So amongst the one thing about all these questions you get asked, you gotta remember a few of them because they will be on the test, and yes, that is a thing. I have all the answers to these because a couple of these questions you gotta learn as you go. Some of them will be based on some lessons you might hear earlier. If you do answer them correctly, you will get one of the 3 social stats increased. This one is Vivid Carp Streamers.
Exactly.
Because interesting. Oh, fun little thing. Some of the lessons are accurate. Yeah, because school life is a big deal in Persona. Well, I mean, unsurprising, our character being a high school student and daily life is a very important thing in this franchise. This is the Japanese school system, not the American school system. So for those of you who don't know and have never actually seen anything about the Japanese school system, where in America we have our 5-day weeks with Saturdays and Sundays off, Japan does not have that. It is Monday to Saturday with Sunday off. The same is true in Persona here. we have Monday to Saturday is school days, with Sundays being our day off. Certain events will only be available on certain days, and this also goes, for example, with social links or going into the dungeon, stuff like that. And I will go into detail about the dungeon later. And here are 3 social stats. In later titles, in Persona 5 and 4, they increased this from 3 to, I believe it is now a 5 point. They added 2 more stats to it. To be honest, I do like the deeper social stat elements of 4 and 5. Managing them is such a pain. Yeah, this is after school. There's nothing we can really do here yet. Ugh. But, the way that social stats work is, like I said, they're used for, as you saw earlier, actually, they're used for certain events. During the evening, some stuff can be done, but right now it's locked.
This is our new guest.
Hello, stranger man.
Good evening. My name is Shuji Ikutsuki. I'm the chairman of the board for your school.
Ah, yes, the higher ups.
Hard to say, isn't it? That's why I don't like introducing myself. Even I get tongue-tied sometimes. Please, have a seat. I apologize for the confusion regarding your accommodations, but it may take a bit longer before you receive the proper room assignment. Is there anything you'd like to ask?
Why are you here, actually? Yeah, why is the chairman here?
Of course. You don't mind, do you?
No, it's just very confusing.
Speaking of which, Takeba-kun, have you seen Kirijo-kun by any chance?
She's upstairs.
As diligent as always, but it couldn't hurt to come down and say hello. Is there anything else?
So is it just me and the girls?
There are only 4 students in this dorm. You, Takeba-kun
I've met the other 2.
And a 3rd year named Akihiko Sanada-kun. I hope you all get along. Do you have another question?
I saw something.
You saw something strange? Like what?
I saw a girl with a gun.
You were probably just tired. I wouldn't worry about it. Any other questions?
You all are hiding something, but for now, I'm good. So we are the master of not giving up.
Here's to a wonderful school year. Now, if you'll excuse me. I'm sure you're worn out from all these formalities. You may want to consider going to bed early. As they say, the early bird catches the bookworm. Get it? Bookworm. Because you're students? Clever, isn't it?
You'll get used to his lame jokes.
I don't want to.
I guess I'll head back to my room too. Like the chairman said, you should get some rest. Transferring schools is a real pain when you're not used to it. Good night.
If you wanna go ahead, free to do whatever. I'm chilling on my bed. I'm out in my biz, so mind your own biz. Whatever like is, we gon' flow.
Hello there. So, how's he doing?
He went to bed a little while ago. He's currently fast asleep. Mr. Chairman,
are you spying on me?
Well, let's wait and see for now. The dark hour is approaching.
Come on, what do you say? I can't leave a pretty girl standing around in the cold like this.
What do you think, Mayumi? I mean, I'm cool with it, but if my parents found out...
They don't need to know. Just drop them a text. It'll be fine.
Yeah. Okay, let's do it.
This sucks.
I'm serious. I was scared shitless.
Nice story, though.
That was the Bayside Rockers, brought to you by KJ. And that's all for tonight, folks. Tune in again next week, same time, same place.
The program you just heard was sponsored by Kirito Electronics, bringing the future to you. The time is...
Where have we heard that name before? Welcome. To the Dark Hour.
Huh? What the? What's happening to me?
So the Dark Hour is where we're going to be spending the majority of the game.
He's still sleeping.
Well, I say, actually, the majority of the game is actually spent during school time.
Midnight. You could say it's the hidden hour. During this time, an ordinary person transmogrifies into a coffin and is oblivious to all that occurs.
Then he must be...
As you can see, he's retained his human form. He may be asleep, but he's definitely experiencing the Dark Hour. The only question that remains is whether or not he has the potential. Though, come to think of it, he must. If he didn't, they would have preyed on him by now.
Scary.
In any case, we should continue to monitor him for a few more days.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so the Dark Hour is
Spying on him like
comparing to Personas 4 and 5. The Dark Hour is your world inside the TV or the metaverse. And then we have this room. The man with the big nose himself.
Welcome to the Velvet Room. My name is Igor. I am delighted to make your acquaintance. This is Elizabeth.
So actually, okay. I'm gonna turn off the auto really quick. Igor here is a reoccurring character. He is in all, well, in the, I believe he first appeared in Persona 2. Igor always runs, he's in the Velvet Room. Now, I believe they've switched voice actors from Igor, from Persona, well, Persona 5 was a different case entirely, which I won't talk about because I don't want to spoil Persona 5. But they did change his voice actor. I forget, I think it's his Japanese voice actor passed away. I don't remember if his English one has or not. But, his new this voice is fine, but I do like how the old one said welcome to the Velvet Room more. It was just something about the way he delivered it was really good. But the Velvet Room is a room we will be coming to a lot. To compare to SMT5 and to Soul Hackers 2, the Velvet Room is like the circus from Soul Hackers 2 or the World of Shadow from SMT5.
Pleased to meet you.
Then we have our his companion, Elizabeth.
This place exists between dream and reality, mind and matter. Only those who have signed the contract can enter this place.
So I will say, the interesting thing about the Velvet Room is it does appear differently to everyone based on who enters.
You were destined to hone your unique ability, and you will require my assistance to do so. I only ask one thing in return. Abide by your contract, and assume full responsibility for the choices you make.
Okay, I mean, I signed the contract.
Hold on to this.
the Velvet Key.
Until we meet again.
We will be seeing a lot of Igor. But yeah, so as you can see, our Velvet Room is a table, 2 chairs, and an elevator rising up with no end in sight. The Velvet Room for Yu Narukami in Persona 4 was a limo driving through a world of fog. And then the Velvet Room for Persona 5's protagonist was a prison. Like I said, each of them are kind of symbolism for something going on in the protagonist's life. The Velvet Room of Persona 3 I won't explain because we'll be experiencing it through this game. Persona 4 is, of course, you are driving through an unknown, a mystery, because Persona 4 was a group of, well, junior detectives, essentially. But yeah, no, bad, don't sleep in class. Don't sleep in class, kids.
Oh, you think so?
True. This is the hint that if you fall asleep in class, you will actually get a courage boost. This was a bigger deal in the original Persona 3, because in the original, so the Dark Hour, as I said, as they showed, takes place at midnight. Because it takes place at midnight, they had an exhaustion system. In the original build, you could sleep in class, so it would afford you more time in the dungeon.
Now, moving on.
Since the exhaustion system has been removed, we don't need to do this anymore. In an original build, Persona 3, so if you're playing the Persona 3 build on Steam or Xbox, or I believe was re-released on the PS4/PS5, that would be Persona 3 Portable. Why they used that version, I could not tell you. But yeah, if you are playing that version, you will more than likely end up sleeping in class. It is by far the best way to get more time in the dungeon. But yeah, I believe this is our first lecture. Yeah. So when we get the events like this, where our character is saying, "I'm feeling sleepy," I'm gonna be open every time we're gonna say "stay awake," and I'm just gonna skip the rest of the lecture. Mostly because there really isn't a reason for me to listen to the lectures.
Sup? How's it going? Want to stop somewhere on the way home?
I mean, where?
I don't know. Maybe grab a bite to eat? That's right. You're new around here. No worries. I'll show you. It's just around the corner from here. Let's go. This is Polonia Mall. Whenever I hang out with the guys from school, we end up coming here. There's a karaoke box, an arcade. Oh yeah, you can rent out CDs too. And there's that club over there. Not that I've ever gone in myself.
We will be going into there later.
This place may not look like much, but I'm not complaining. Let's check out the CDs first. Oh, whoa, that's new. I gotta try this. Let me show you my mad crane game skills. Ah, damn it!
I guess you do not have the skills with the crane game as a certain Welshman.
Even empty-handed. Dude, I'm gonna look from the side. Yeah, that's it, yo! One more try. Just one more.
I'm starting a little bit lower energy than normal. And I'm like very distracted. I'm actually very tired because I just got I was out of the country for a few days. I just got back, so I'm still suffering a little bit from jet lag. We got the shortcut menu, which is something I'll be taking a huge advantage of.
So dance. If you wanna go ahead, free to do whatever. I'm chilling on my bed.
Ugh. Yeah, welcome to the night where things get real. Yeah, we're exhausted for some reason. I mean, maybe it has something to do with that dream the night before. It was really weird. Oh. Again, master of just giving 0 fucks. Welcome back to the dark hour.
How is he?
Looks like he's a little worn out. He went to bed without changing out of his uniform. Other than that, nothing has changed since last night.
Very interesting. Even those who have the potential tend to be unstable at first. Memory loss, disorientation. This subject is rather unique. He hasn't exhibited any of the common symptoms.
But we're treating him like a guinea pig.
Oh, don't look at it like that. The two of you are classmates, right? Consider it an opportunity to have someone your own age here. Besides, we need all the help we can get.
I guess that's true, but still.
Command room speaking. Akihiko, what's wrong?
You're not gonna believe it. This thing is huge. Unfortunately, it's chasing after me right now. I'm almost back. Just letting you know in advance.
Does that mean he's bringing that thing here?
Mr. Chairman, that's enough observation for now. We need to prepare for combat.
Right. Be careful.
Akihiko!
Hey, cool outfit. Where can I get it?
I'm alright. Get ready to be surprised. It'll be here any second.
Dumbass.
This is no time to joke around.
Is it one of them, Sanada-kun?
Yeah, but not an ordinary one.
Ah! What was that? You've got to be kidding me!
It sounded big.
Mr. Chairman, please head for the command room. Takeba, go upstairs and wake him up. Then escape out the back.
But what about you two?
Oh, fuck. My finger slipped. I'll replay the spoken dialogue.
We'll stop it here. You're the one who led it to us, Akihiko, so I'm going to have you fight.
It's not like I asked it to follow me. What are you waiting for, Takeba? Go!
Okay.
No, what happened there was I went to move my controller and I brushed the start button. Master, not giving a fuck. No panic or anything. Also, so this game remixes a lot of the tracks from the original Persona 3. Some of them, I like the original more, but this one, I like this one so much more.
There's no time to explain. We have to get out of here now.
There's no time to say, what's going on?
Hurry! To the first floor! We'll leave through the back. Oh, wait! Take this just in case.
You have just given me a sword.
Okay, let's go.
Care to explain?
Alright, we should be safe now.
Takeba, do you read me?
Yes, I hear you.
Be careful.
How? How
There
did you
appears to
hear
be
her?
more than one enemy. The primary one's lurking somewhere nearby.
What?
I think it's here.
Oh, let's pull back.
You're panicking way too much.
Let's go.
It's getting closer. You need to calm down. It's gonna be okay. Getting to safety is our priority now.
No, okay, I think... I know I was saying I want to get into the dungeon tonight, but that's probably not going to happen. It's probably going to be a shorter stream, because like I said, I am still getting over some jet lag.
Don't tell me it got inside. It's getting closer. Keep moving. Hurry. Right. If we go out through here, then...
Expect a very cutscene. Like, this is the thing I will say. Anyone who is thinking about trying Persona 3 Reload, you've never played a Persona game before, get ready for a lot of cutscenes. This is the cutscene heavy. Oop, we haven't been quiet for this.
No way. That's it! One of the monsters that attacked us! It's a shadow!
It's here.
Wait.
Go on.
So.
I am thou. Thou art I. From the sea of thy soul I come. I am Orpheus, master of strings.
Just as we thought.
Several questions? Returned back to Orpheus.
What on earth was that?
It's clearly caught everyone else off guard. So yeah, now I can talk about it. Persona 3 kind of
Is it over?
iconically has one of the weirdest summoning methods. There have been multiple methods of summoning a persona over the years. Persona 4, you break a card. Persona 5, which is one I think a lot of people have seen before this, is they rip off a mask. Usually during the first awakening, there's a lot of blood. But Persona 3, the summoning method is gun. So, okay, the thing is about the gun, they fire cartridges that, it fires a gas that will induce, extreme fear, allowing you to summon your persona. Because I think it was extreme fear. Basically, it's saying that'll shoot your mind into overdrive. So, talking about our persona, or actually talking about some different stuff right now. We can't do analysis yet, but as you can see, here's some mass destruction, though. Sorry, I can't start vibing or I'll never talk. So, talk about combat real quick. So, we can attack with our sword, which will count as slashing damage. But if we summon our persona, we can deal fire damage with Agi. The two bars are your HP and your SP. SP is the reason we're starting on normal mode, because holy fuck, finding items to recover SP early in Persona is hell. Compared to SMT and Soul Hackers, like, I had access to those items from, like, the get-go. That is not the case with Persona. And it makes it hell when it comes to the dungeon of this game. With that, quickly talk about one thing. This game, I've played Persona 4 and I've played Persona 5. I have the Persona 3 on Steam. I just haven't really done much in it. But the presentation from this game is just so much of a jump from Persona 5. I mean, I'm just gonna let this play out as I use my Agi spell, and then I'll talk about the differences between in combat. Like, seriously, that's so good. But in terms of combat, this game does not use the once more system. I mean the press turn system. Sorry. Now that we have all three variants on the channel, I can talk about the three different systems that Atlus tends to use for these games. In Shin Megami Tensei, they use what's called press turn. In the press turn system, as you can see on those videos, you had a set amount of actions, and if you attacked with the weakness or landed a critical, it would use half a turn instead of a full turn. This would allow you to get, if you were able to press the weaknesses hard enough, you would be able to get, instead of 4 actions, 8 actions. In Soul Hackers, we had the Sabbath system, which would allow us to build up a charge, and at the end of all 4 characters, it would deal massive damage based on the amount of power I had built up. The way that Persona has what's called, I don't know what it's actually called, I tend to call it the once more system. So if you strike a weakness or land a critical, you get once more, and you can act again. The way you get to get an extra turn is you either strike a weak point or hit a critical. And we just died.
Are you okay?
I took too long explaining.
Can you hear me? Oh, say something!
It's so good to see you again. You lost consciousness after awakening to your power. Ooh, I see that it was Orpheus who heeded your call. Very interesting.
Actually, Orpheus is a very interesting persona, because Orpheus, and I can be corrected here by someone else, but, I don't understand. Explain! Yeah, Orpheus is actually the only persona, as far as I know, that has two variants.
That surfaces as you react to external
And I don't mean like, you know, there's two different personas. There are two different forms of Orpheus. There is male form and female form.
The power of a persona is the power of one's soul. And the soul is fueled by the depth of one's bonds. As you form these bonds by becoming involved with others, your own social links will gradually develop. The strength of these social links will foster the growth of your persona abilities. Please remember this. Now then, time marches on in your world. I shouldn't keep you here any longer. Next time we meet, you will come here of your own accord.
And I will be spending a lot of time in the Velvet Room. We're also having a huge jump to the 17th.
You're awake! How do you feel? Thank goodness you finally woke up! Oh, this is Tatsumi Memorial Hospital. It's just a short walk from the station. The doctor couldn't find anything wrong. He said you were just exhausted.
Yeah, that's a pretty common thing for a lot of people during their awakening of a persona.
But wow!
They tend to get really exhausted afterwards.
You mean the shadows? They're
Because
what
it's
we're
a
fighting
huge
against.
burden
And
on
that
the
power
psyche.
you used, we call it persona. Don't worry, we'll explain everything later. I'm sorry I didn't tell you before. I wanted to tell you something. I can kinda relate. To you, I mean.
Explain.
My dad died in an accident when I was little, and my mom and I aren't exactly on good terms. You're all alone too, aren't you? To be honest, I already heard about your past, but it didn't seem fair, so I wanted you to know about mine too. This was a while ago, but there was a big explosion in the area. Supposedly, my dad died in the blast, but nobody really knows what happened. At the time, he was working in a lab run by the Kirijo group, so I'm hoping if I stick around long enough, I'll find out more about it. That's why I'm going to Gekukan High. And why I was there when this happened to you. Not that I was much help. I kinda panicked. That was my first time facing them too. Sorry. You wouldn't have to go through all this if I weren't such a coward.
Not your fault. I mean, hell.
Thanks.
I mean, the okay.
You all this the
The
minute
way
opened
you
your
hold
eyes.
the
While I was
this
waiting,
device.
I thought to myself,
I am trying. Oh,
so
okay.
many
Okay, I'll
things
call
from
it.
him.
The gun is called the
As soon
Evoker.
as he wakes
The
up,
way you hold
I'll
the
tell him the
Evoker,
truth.
you
So
point it
thanks for
to
listening.
your forehead.
I've been wanting to share that story with someone for a long
Mentally,
time.
that's gotta fuck with you. Like, the way we do it is we
I'm gonna
hold it
get
up to the
going.
side of our
I'll let
head.
the others know you're
Also, I
okay.
will say, I really do
They
love,
said you could leave once you
because I've
regain
been
consciousness.
holding on talking
So
about
I
it.
think you're free to go home.
I love the
See
scene
you.
in the opening where it's just him on the couch, pulls up, and you just see the glass shatter effect, and you just see Orpheus, like, splashed against the wall. There's nothing we can do right now, so we might as well just go to bed.
Yo.
What's going on, man?
Get a load of this.
Jeez. Are you stupid or something?
Of course he does. I committed crime.
Can we call it a day?
So yeah, the history teacher here is really into the Sengoku era. Especially samurai.
That's correct.
For answering the question correctly, our charm will go up. Like I said, in the original build, sleeping in class mattered a lot more. In that one, it doesn't really matter in this one because we don't have the exhaustion system.
I've been a little
I
worried.
don't mind the removal of that
What if you
system.
pass out again on the way home? I feel responsible for that, you know? Let me make it up to you. Come on, let's go. Home safe. I'm glad you're feeling okay now. Well, I guess I'll head up first. Like I said this morning, meet me on the 4th floor. The chairman should be waiting for us.
So dance. If you wanna go ahead, free to do whatever. I'm chilling on my bed. I'm out in my biz, so mind your own biz. Whatever like
There's something strange on our bed, which is a Twilight fragment. We'll talk about those later. Just know we are going to need a lot of them. Alright, we gotta go to the 4th floor.
Oh. Hey.
Ah, there you are. Looks like you've recovered. I'm glad to see that. There are some things I need to discuss with you. That's why I asked you to see me so soon after your discharge from the hospital. Please, have a seat. Oh, before that, I believe I mentioned his name before, but this is Sanada-kun.
Hey there.
Okay, let me start off by asking you this. Would you believe me if I said that a day consists of more than 24 hours?
If you told me that before I used the gun to summon a special entity, I'd call you crazy. But things have changed.
That's a reasonable reaction. However, you've already experienced this truth firsthand. Do you remember the night you first arrived here? You had to have noticed the signs. Streetlights going out, things that stopped working,
Nope.
the inexplicable appearance of coffins. With so many things amiss, didn't it feel like you'd stepped into a different time? That's the Dark Hour. A time period hidden between one day and the next.
Now, how the fuck does that work?
I know how you feel. Who would believe such a fantastical claim? But the Dark Hour does exist, and it occurs each night as the clock strikes 12. It will happen tonight and every night to come.
Normal people don't realize it, since they're all sleeping inside their coffins. But that's not what makes the Dark Hour so interesting. You saw them. Those creatures. We call them shadows. They only appear during the Dark Hour, and attack anyone who roams free outside the coffins. It's our job to defeat them. Pretty exciting, huh?
Akihiko, why are you always like this? You just got hurt the other day.
Now, he does his work well in any case. I'll get to the point. We are the Specialized Extracurricular Execution Squad. SEAS for short. On paper, we're classified as a school club.
Hell of a club.
In reality, this group is dedicated to defeating the shadows.
I don't even think you need to have it on paper, my
The
man.
club advisor.
A shadow feeds on the mind of its prey. The victim becomes a living corpse.
Apathy syndrome. I'm sure you've heard of it. We sometimes refer to those who suffer from this as the lost.
So the nice thing about this
They're
game,
responsible for
about
most
this
of the
set of,
incidents on the
well, the
news,
time period for
not
this
all.
dungeon, as opposed to Personas 4 and 5. In Persona, I'm going to turn off auto
those
release.
who can function during the Dark Hour.
Okay, talk about this game's dungeon period, which is the Dark Hour. In Personas 4 and 5, you have to give up a day to go into the different events. So, if you say you want to work on social links, but you have a dungeon you have to go into, you gotta give up a day of social links. Because the Dark Hour is always at night, a lot of social links are off the table at night. Because they're off the table, you don't lose any
Some
really
even awaken to a power
crucial
that enables
part
them
of the
to
day.
fight shadows. That's known as persona, the power you called upon the other night. Shadows can only be defeated by persona users. That means you are the only ones who stand a chance against them.
I see.
I'm glad you're quick to understand.
What he's trying to say is, we want you to join us. We've prepared an evoker for you. We'd like you to lend us your strength.
Okay. You gave me a gun.
I was afraid you'd say no. I'm glad to hear you're on board.
Thank you so much. Truly. Oh, I almost forgot. About your room assignment. Why don't you just stay in the room you have now? I don't know what the holdup is, but I guess it worked out in the end.
Hold up. But wasn't that... Oh, never mind.
That we're joining them? Hear a voice in our head.
I am thou. Thou art I. Thou hast established a new bond. Thou shalt have our blessing when thou choosest to create a persona of the Fool Arcana.
So, talking really quick, this game uses the, comparing really quick to the other two games we've covered from the genre tends to be called the Megaton games. There is two classifications we use for personas. A lot of personas are demons from SMT. In Shin Megami Tensei and in Soul Hackers, the classifications were demon species, so fairies, divine, dragon, that kind of stuff. This game, it doesn't. I'm trying to remember what these were called, what this archetype was called. But I'm going to try to give a little bit of a background on the various social links, what arcana they represent, which is they're from a tarot deck. So here with our first one, we have the Fool Arcana. The Fool Arcana is a 0. Is the 0 Arcana. So, there are two types of Arcanas in a tarot deck. There is the Major Arcanas and then the Minor Arcanas. We'll be seeing a lot of the Major Arcanas over the course of the game. The title of Fool is about infinite potential that could be something great, but if squandered, will be something worthless. This is a representation of the group as a whole. The Fool tends to be the Arcana for the party. So, it'd be the Phantom Thieves in Persona 5, the Investigation Team in Persona 4, and Seize in Persona 3. The other thing about the other thing I will compare it to, bring up kind of a little fun fact, is there's a set of Yu-Gi-Oh! Two sets of Yu-Gi-Oh! Cards based off the tarot decks. There is the Arcana Force cards, which was used by the second... Actually, I think he was the first real main antagonist of Yu-Gi-Oh! GX. The way that those cards worked is actually very reminiscent of an actual tarot deck. Or at least to my limited knowledge, which is, the way it works in that game is, well, in Yu-Gi-Oh! With the Arcana Force cards, they had two forms. They had, a face-up form, and then an inverted form. In the actual TCG, this is used by coin flips. The other one, though, and the one I will actually probably get more actively talk about for their comparison, is, there's also an entire archetype called the Prophecy ones, and the Prophecy archetype, and they're all named after the different tarot cards. The Fool of Prophecy is a perfect representation of the Fool card. To explain, the Fool of Prophecy would actually let you discard spellcasters and spell cards from your deck. It would just discard cards, which wouldn't be a big deal, except if you discarded when you had a certain amount of cards in the graveyard, you could jump into any level 6 or higher, if I remember correctly. For example, the Dark Magician, which is a very good representation of the Fool Arcana, because of the fact it was just tossing cards away, and if you didn't see it through to the end, you squandered its potential. But if it actually made it to the end, you got rewarded by a really powerful card. There are different elements of using social links. They're actually very important. But they're more related to the fusion system.
I apologize for gathering you all here on your precious day off. Tomorrow is Sunday, so take some time to relax. Well then, shall weekend this meeting? You know, because it's the weekend. Shall we end? Shall week end? Get it?
Hi, how have you been?
After this, I know I was saying I was going to go through they do all the main tutorials today, but like I said, I've been saying I am exhausted. I am very tired.
We've met before.
So,
soon the end will come.
Might
I remembered.
call it
So I
after
thought I
this.
should tell you.
The end? Explain.
It's the end of everything.
Oh,
To
just
be
the
honest,
apocalypse.
I don't really
Well,
know
what
much
else is
about it.
new? Look, it's a
More
J.
importantly,
Look, it's a
looks like
JRPG
you've
style at the end of the
awakened to
day.
your
If it
power.
doesn't end
What
with
an
you
unusual
fighting
power it
God,
is.
it's
A power
wrong.
that takes many forms, yet is bound by none. It might even prove to be your salvation, depending on where you end up.
It is
Do you
tradition that
remember
we
when
end.
first met?
Well, I mean,
I expect you to honor your commitment.
SMT in particular has had
I'm
us
always
fight
watching
God
you,
multiple times,
even if you
and I
forget
don't
about
just mean
me.
like, oh no,
Okay, then.
like oh no,
See you
that's
later.
it's the God from Greek mythology. It's a God from Shinto. No, I mean Yahweh. I mean God from the Bible was a fucking boss.
Hey, you in there?
And he's actually gone by a couple of different names. Oh, right, no, we just sleep straight through the 19th. Okay.
If you are, could you come downstairs? Sonata Senpai's calling for us.
You know, with that in mind, I actually might just power through and do that tutorial today. I thought there was a lot more to do on the
What's this
19th.
about?
Thanks for coming. There's someone I want to introduce.
Like I said, this
Hey,
first
hurry
stream is going to be... Oh, this entire series is going to be very... I know that voice.
What? Junpei? Why are you here? Don't tell me.
This is Junpei Iori from Class 2F. I'll be staying here from now on.
What's up?
He's staying here? Are you sure there wasn't some mistake?
I bumped into him the other night. He has the potential, but he just awakened to it recently. I told him about us, and he agreed to help out.
Really? You have the potential?
He found me crying like a baby at the convenience store, surrounded by a bunch of coffins. I don't remember much, but man, that's embarrassing. Whew. But he said that's, completely normal in the beginning. Like being confused and not remembering anything. Do you guys know that?
I'm sorry about that. I let the cutscene play while I was getting dogs. Yeah, no, it did happen to us.
Hey, what's with the tough guy act? You should know about it, since you're a Persona user and all. But man, I still can't believe it. I had no idea you guys had this stuff going on too.
I mean, it just started for
I'm
us.
glad I'm not the only one. Wouldn't really want to be doing this on my own. You gotta be stoked too, right? Having me join?
What? I guess.
Well, enough with the introductions. Now that our forces have increased, I think we're about ready.
Ooh, we gotta go do something? Sweetness! I'm getting pumped!
With this many people, we could start checking out that tower.
Oh, you mean Tartarus.
Bye.
Tartar sauce? What?
It's a place that holds the key to understanding the Dark Hour. Or so we think.
The key.
The chairman will give us more details tomorrow night, so be ready.
So,
He's pretty gung-ho.
That's right.
Whew, I'm tired. I was about to fall asleep.
Can I have a minute? Come to the room on the 4th floor when you get back to the dorm tonight. I have something to tell you all.
Oh, are we having that talk already?
I'll save the details for later. See you there.
Damn, doesn't waste any time.
She's not like us. She's busy, you know, with the student council or whatever.
Whoa, Yucatan, do I sense some hostility?
I wonder why.
It's not that I don't like her, it's just... I don't know.
Okay, the one thing to talk about, actually, so there are various social links in the games that are handled through other characters we'll be meeting. The way social links worked in Personas 4 and 5 is there's, of course, the one group social link, which is the Fool Arcana, which is related to the teams, like the investigation team and the Phantom Thieves part.
Been happening a lot lately, though.
But that is not the case with Persona 3.
These syndrome things getting out of
Well, no, but then there's the individual Arcanas where everyone else would have one. For example, your first party member in Persona 4 is the Magician's Arcana, and in Persona 5, you're the first companion you get is the Emperor Arcana. That is not the case in 3. In 3, in particular, it is the weirdest.
Speaking of, I heard the ramen joint upstairs has a secret late night menu.
To explain why, yeah, we better hurry to the door. The reason why Persona 3 is the weirdest with this is, you saw what date I'm on my personal file. I have not started a single party member social.
Everyone's here.
Heck yeah!
They do not become available till later in the game.
Now, I'd like your undivided attention. For a long time, Kirijo-kun and Sanada-kun were the only Persona users we
The
had.
other thing is,
But that number
in Persona
has
3, you
recently
can
jumped
only
to
form
5.
social
So
links
here's
with
the plan.
party members of
Starting
the opposite
tonight
gender.
at 12 a.m.,
So only
I'd like us to finally begin
female
exploring
only the female
Tartarus.
party members we will be forming social links with.
So, I asked this yesterday, but what is that tartar
In
thing
Persona
again?
3 Portable, you played as a
Tartarus.
female character. You
seriously
couldn't
haven't seen it,
form
Junpei?
social links with the female party members, but you had social links with the male characters.
It's no surprise you haven't seen it. Tartarus only appears during the dark hour, after all.
Only during the dark hour?
Just like the shadows. Interesting, huh?
The goal of our club, Seize, is to fight those shadows. However, simply defeating shadows during the dark hour isn't enough. We must get to the root of the problem. We need to destroy the dark hour itself.
To explain because of what I meant by the social
You're
links,
saying if we run around Tartarus, we can
the
somehow
Magician
get rid of the
Arcana,
dark
for
hour?
example, will
We
be
don't know for certain. Sorry,
with
I can't give you a
the
better
female
answer.
protagonist would have been
But
Junpei,
investigating the mysteries of
but
that
with the
tower
male
is
character,
part of our
it is
job.
a classmate.
The bottom line
The
is,
exception is
need more
the
information.
Priestess Arcana
Everything we
is being the
encounter
same
there
on
will be a
both
vital clue for
characters. Same with
The exploration
Empress.
of Tartarus is of utmost importance. Consider it our top priority. Our society, while remaining blissfully unaware of the shadows, is slowly but surely succumbing to their influence. I would go as far as to say that the fate of the world rests on the shoulders of you Persona users.
But it wasn't just the party members that were swapped, it was certain
Justice will prevail.
Arcana, like
It's
social links
also
in
the
general,
perfect
were
spot
swapped.
for us to train and improve our skills.
For example, the
That place is
Chariot
like a nest of
Arcana
shadows.
had a different person depending if you're male or
Nest,
female. Same with
But
the
Senpai, what about
Justice
your
Arcana.
injury?
The Chariot
Akihiko's still
Arcana
recovering
changed
from his
because
wounds.
of
He'll accompany us, but won't
there were,
participate
well,
in
I'll
the
talk about that when we
exploration.
talk about the Chariot Arcana.
Yeah, I know.
So did the Hermit Arcana, oddly enough.
Oh, Junpei's got your backs.
I'm not so sure
Well,
about this.
actually, a lot of Arcanas did
What about
switch.
you, Mr. Chairman?
Like,
I'll stay here.
some of the
Not
ones
much
stayed
point
exactly the
anyway,
same,
since I can't summon a persona.
but some of them were completely swapped.
Huh? We're here? What's going on? Why are we at school?
Just wait and see. It's almost midnight.
It's surprising a place called Tartarus would be in a school.
This is Tartarus, the labyrinth that reveals itself during the dark hour.
Labyrinth? What are you talking about? What happened to our school?
Once the dark hour passes, everything will return to normal.
This is the nest you were talking about? But why? Why'd our school turn into a giant tower?
Good question. Let's find out.
You don't know either?
No.
I'm sure it's complicated.
If we don't know, we'll just have to find out. Mitsuru and I have only gone in to take a peek. This will be our first time exploring it. Exciting, huh? There's gotta be something in there. Hopefully some sort of clue about the Dark Hour.
Akihiko, I respect your enthusiasm, but you won't be exploring it today.
I know. You don't have to keep reminding me.
This is Tartarus. So yeah, we will be entering Tartarus a lot. Well, not a lot. So, okay. To explain how Tartarus used to work, Tartarus used to have, I've mentioned a few times, the exhaustion system. As
just
this
as
is the
crazy on the
25th hour of the
inside.
day, we are
Sure
losing
is
sleep
creepy, though.
here in Tartarus.
This
The thing
only
is,
the entrance.
this
The
would
labyrinth
affect how your
lies beyond the
character
doorway at
would.
the top of these stairs.
Well, you wouldn't be able to do it if your character was
First,
too
you
exhausted.
need
So
to
that's
get a
why you
feel
would
for the
sleep in
place.
class.
Why don't the three of you
Which
go have a look
is insane. It
What?
makes it.
By
It's
ourselves?
a layer of management for the
Not asking you
dungeon
to
that
go very
is
far.
completely
I'll help
unnecessary
you navigate by feeding you information from
and
here.
would actually make
We'll also
Persona
need to
3
appoint a leader to
portable
make any
and
necessary
Fez
decisions.
the only, and
A
of course the
leader?
original Persona
Like-
3, the only games where
captain
you
of
could
a
not
pirate
one day a
ship?
dungeon.
I'm in! Me!
To explain, if you play Personas 4 and 5, you can one day
You're in charge.
dungeons. That you go from level 1 to the top level of the dungeon, or in the metaverse, you could go through a palace
Calm
and
down.
go
Let's
from the
experience
entrance,
fighting
find
already.
the treasure.
Wait,
Typically in one day, though there are a few
That's true too.
palaces
but the main
that
reason
have
is far more simple.
roadblocks.
Junpei, and you too, Takeba.
That's just a
Can
thing
either of you
of
summon
Persona
your
5.
persona without difficulty like he can?
Yeah,
Um,
of course I can.
Me too.
These are shadows we're talking about. Without your persona, you're screwed.
That was not, yeah, that
I'm
was
aware
not
of
the
that.
case in the original Persona 3. In the original Persona 3, you
Alright,
could get pretty
let's
far,
head
but then
inside.
eventually be like, nah, leave.
Are you ready, leader?
And you would have to find another knight to come back in to finish up the set of, well, the block you were
That's
on.
the spirit.
That is thankfully gone. You can one night a floor. Now, granted, there are some nights where we won't be able to because, you know, story events.
What's the matter?
Yeah, stay dog. The Velvet Key's reacting. There's now a bright blue door here. Gotta say again, welcome to the Velvet Room.
I've been waiting for you. The time has come for you to wield your power. The tower that you are about to venture into. How did it come to be? For what purpose does it exist? Regrettably, you are not yet capable of answering these questions. That is why you must be made aware of something before you go any further. You must understand the nature of your power. The door you just passed through is the entrance to this realm. Of course, no one but you can see it. Your power is
Am I just standing there
unique.
looking like I'm
It is like the number
gone to the world?
Empty, but at the same time, holding infinite possibilities.
Hence why the
You,
Fool
my
Arcana
boy,
is number
are
0.
able to possess multiple personas and summon them at will. And when you have defeated your enemies, you will see the faces of possibility before you.
We'll talk about
There may
that.
be times when they are difficult to grasp, but do not fear. Seize what you have earned. Your power will grow accordingly. Be sure to keep that in mind. Now then, my spare time will soon be scarce. Next time, once again, may you open the door and come here of your own accord. I'll tell you then about my true role, the manner in which I can best assist you.
So,
until we meet again, farewell.
see you later, Igor. Yeah. So as we're going back into the real world, I will say this: like I said, we'll be spending a lot of time in the Velvet
Hey,
Room.
are you all right?
Yeah, what's
There
up?
is not much
You
we'll
look
be
like a
doing
zombie.
tonight. Nothing, because yeah, they can't see the door.
Don't tell me you dozed off. You're like that coach who fell asleep during the championship game. Come on, man. You're supposed to be our leader.
Yeah, Igor told us no one will be able to see it but us.
Cut him some slack. If nothing's wrong, then let's get going.
Leader.
Quickly checking everyone. Oh, checking the party. Everyone's level 1. As I said, we could change uniforms.
All right.
There's more to this game's complexity. And it also is going to it means that there's also a completely different mentality when it comes to building your party.
It's the real deal from here on, huh?
Talk about the
It's
party
easy to get
here.
lost in.
Yukari specializes in wind damage and healing spells.
Whoa!
Meanwhile, Junpei is a physical damage healer, but he
I'll be
also has
providing audio
access
backup from
to
here on
fire
out.
magic.
Keep that in mind.
This is for elemental coverage.
Wait, are you saying you can see this
Though
place from all the way out there?
Junpei, a lot of his starting skills are shared with
The structure of Tartarus
Orpheus.
actually changes from day to day. I'd like to join you up there, but we need someone
So
to
yep,
provide
as she said,
outside
the
support.
structure of Tartarus changes from day to day. So
even
none
more
of my
concerning.
streams can ever be taken as a guide for how to navigate through
Based on your
Tartarus,
current
because
location,
Tartarus
you
will
can expect to
always
encounter
change.
enemies at any
Now the
time.
layout of Tartarus
This shouldn't be too tough.
isn't
but
too
proceed with caution.
crazy. The floors are usually
You'll
pretty
get the hang
small,
of it as you go.
and though sometimes they can be big, slightly bigger, they're never
Got it.
like a maze.
Why is she always like that?
Defeat all the shadows on. I'll support you as much as I can. but
On
it's
to
up
the
to
second
you to
floor
learn
of
something out
Tartarus.
there.
First floor doesn't count because first floor was
Hold
the
on.
entrance.
This is the first real battle for Takeba and Iori. Proceed with caution.
As you can see, Junpei has a large katana. Yugatari has a bow.
Let's start by going over how to attack shadows. When faced with an enemy, you have the second option.
I'm just going to skip past all this because it's all stuff I've already talked about.
Okay. Looks like I'm up.
Yeah, you won't be able to control either of your party members for these tutorials, but it's mostly for them to show off their personas. There's Hermes.
Oh yeah! How'd you like my persona ability?
Yeah, that was amazing.
Well done, Iori. Considering it was your first battle, you did well. Takeba too. You'll be fine. Don't be afraid to show what you can do.
Got it.
Good. Let's continue exploring.
You can also hold. They don't teach us to, I believe,
Another shadow
the
up
first
ahead.
true
Let's
visit
get you
to
more
Tartarus.
accustomed to
You can hold
combat.
right trigger and run, which I've been doing this whole time.
The battle's about to...
Ugh.
Alright, next, most enemies have an elemental affinity that they have low resistance to. Not only that, knocking down an enemy...
I've already talked about all this.
Let me handle this one. Just point it to my head and pull the trigger. I can do this.
I actually have to double check what her persona's name is.
That's it, Takeba. You give it a try as well. Well done. You struck the enemy's weakness. Keep that up. Finish.
Now here's the thing, every game the weakness always changes, so it's something that's not really consistent for Persona. Though,
I did it.
and I say every game, if you were to play Persona 3 Portable, Persona 3 Fez, or the original Persona 3, some enemies might not have the same affinities as they do in real life.
Not being a creep.
This is very noticeable in Persona 5 Royal and Persona 4
Looks like everyone's
Golden.
gotten used to handling
Compared to their
personas.
original releases, they shifted
Leader,
around a
take
lot
note
of
of each member's
affinities.
strengths and conduct the
If
battle
I remember
accordingly.
correctly, they pretty much removed all elemental
I can still
weaknesses
sense some
on
enemies
bosses
around. Let's
in
move on.
Persona 5 Royal.
Yeah.
The heck?
I don't think we need to explain what
Oh,
a
sweet.
chest
Hell
is.
yeah.
So I'm just skipping this dialogue. Life stones are an invaluable asset as they heal percentage HP. Revival bead is the Phoenix down for this game. It'll heal the. It'll revive a downed party member at a percentage of HP.
Looks like they haven't noticed you yet. Try sneaking up on them from behind. Make sure you stay out of their field of vision.
One thing you can also do is, you could swing your sword at an enemy who hasn't seen you, and you'll get an advantage. This means that your party will go first.
Next, I'm going to explain a tactic first. Go ahead. I'll keep track if you ever...
I'm going to skip past this because the thing we're talking about right now is the all-out attack.
All right.
An all-out attack?
It's a maneuver
We
that
gang up
engages
and
the
beat the
entire
shit
team in
out
a
of them.
coordinated assault when all enemies have been knocked down. Naturally, the enemy has no way of defending against this. It's...
Whoa! That sounds so badass!
So, we can't see it on these shadows, but now that we have access to the ability to analyze, we can, well, God, I love this song, but you can see the different elemental affinities. If it's a question mark, it means we haven't hit them with it yet, so that we don't know the affinity. There's a way around this later, but not for a good while. The elemental affinities that we can see is the first one there that we've done is slashing. This is done by swords and certain persona abilities. The second one is fist, which is done through anyone who's using fist weapons or, again, persona abilities. Third one is gun, which is dealt by personas or certain weapons like the bow. In Persona 5, gun would take a whole new meaning, and most of the party would have access to gun. But the other elements from there are fire, ice, electricity, wind, light, and dark. Now, interesting thing about light and dark as weaknesses, in the original Persona 3 and up until Persona 4, as far as I know, dark and light had no way of dealing flat damage. They were just pure instant kill. So if you were not immune to light and dark, you were just, everything was highly resistant to it. Giving it a flat damage effect has made it up 2 more useful elements. But then we have the all-out attack. The all-out attack counts as almighty damage. This ignores defense up to a certain percent and just deals heavy damage. And for defeating an enemy with an all-out attack, we unlock Shuffle Time. Shuffle Time will give us a bunch of cards, and they will give us access to different things. The first card here is a Persona. So, yeah, that reveals to us that we can have multiple Personas. Basically, our character here is like a character from Soul Hacker 2. In Soul Hacker 2, you could swap to different Personas. Well, not Personas, you could swap out to different demons.
When I saw my opening,
And it's just like in Soul Hackers, because in Soul Hackers 2, for those who don't know or don't remember, your elemental affinities would change depending on what demon was affixed to your comp. The same is true in this game. Your affinities change depending on what persona you're
As you
using.
grasp the flow of battle, you'll learn to coordinate with each other seamlessly. Let's apply what we've learned so far and continue exploring. Take advantage.
I'm going to move this because this is the same one, except the Shadow roams. We got the advantage.
I've covered the basics of combat now.
And now we've got a new form of Shadow.
Making decisions based on the situation at hand. I'll continue providing support, but this time, go ahead and try.
These enemies are weak to ice. The unfortunate thing is none of our characters have ice magic. We have fire, we have physical, and we have wind, but we have no ice.
Multiple personas and summon them at will.
Remember what Igor told us. Like I said, you can... Now with this, may I introduce the power of the wild card. So the wild card is unique to the protagonist. So we can switch our persona.
Your persona just now. It looks like you really do have a special power. The enemy.
There was actually chains for Shuffle Time in Persona 4. They were completely absent in Persona 5. In 5, the way you obtained personas was through negotiation. The Shuffle Time in 3, from what I am aware of, was just disgusting. I like this one more. So talk about the minor arcana. So these are all various minor arcanas. The Cups card will give you will give you various beneficial effects. It'll restore some of your HP. There's a couple higher tier ones that can restore the entire party. Or just provide for one turn in battle, different, or like you'll open with attack defense boosts. The wands will always increase your HP. The swords are going to be skill cards. With these you can take skills and put them on various personas. And coins is money. Enemies do not drop money in this game. The only way to earn money from battle is the coins card. For now, I'm going to take the experience. The other way you can earn money is the treasures.
Excellent work.
Was that?
Well, it looks like he has the ability to summon different personas.
Yeah, just a thing I could do.
suspected as much after the events from the other day, but now we know for sure.
I mean, yeah, Orpheus turned into that thing. Last thing to note is there are two types of ways to move onto move around the floors. There is the stairs, which will let you move up, and then there's one-way teleports that'll take us back to floor 1.
Look, that treasure chest looks different from the one before.
Yes, that particular box is sealed in a special way. The box can be unlocked by its own mechanism, but it needs something else to work during the dark hour.
These special chests can be opened with the Twilight Fragment.
What's that you got there?
Twilight Fragments have apparently 3 uses. There is you can use the Twilight Fragment to open the chests here. Those special chests, as far as I know, I believe they can go up to a cost of 3. You really want this one because those Snuff Souls are really good. Snuff Souls are the first SP restorative item we'll get for a while. But yeah, no, the other, what was I saying? Oh, hell, I lost myself. Oh yeah, there's the teleports back to floor 1, the stairs move up floors, and, at a certain point, if you need to step away, make sure you pause your game or things are gonna get bad. Yeah, there's not much we can do this night. We're gonna let this cutscene play so I can save. And then we're gonna call it for the night.
So, how was it?
I am exhausted.
It must have hit you all at once. Don't worry, you'll get used to it.
Wow! I never knew I had that kind of power. But damn, why do I feel so exhausted?
'Cause you were bouncing around like a little kid.
You say that, but you look pretty tired yourself, Yuka-tan.
This is different. It's like I'm having trouble breathing. What's going on?
That's the effect of the dark hour. You'll become fatigued more easily. Don't worry, you'll get used to it. I have to say, though, I'm surprised. You all did much better.
That is
than
a
I
reference
expected.
to
At this
the old
rate, we'll
exhaustion
catch up
system.
to you in no time, Akihiko.
Like I said, it's not something we have to deal with, thankfully.
Let's see about that.
And for that, for completing our first night in the tower, the Fool has achieved rank 2. Now, unlike other social links, every other social link in this game will go up only by interacting with the party member. Or not the party member, the representative. Because of the way that the Fool social link works, it actually is almost entirely driven by the story. As we do more in the story, it will increase in rank. Yeah, there's nothing else we can do tonight. The game's gonna have us move on, so for right now, we're gonna call it there. I will see everyone. Well, okay. To talk about, like I said, if it wasn't for the fact, like I said, I'm like shaking off some jet lag, I would go further into the tower. Like I would go further a couple more days so I can do my first true run in the tower. But you know what? This already took us 2 hours, and we have knocked out pretty much all the introductory tutorials. The only thing left to talk about is social links, but they're pretty self-explanatory. There's also things to talk about the Velvet Room, but we'll talk about them all next time. I hope everyone's looking forward to this game. The story is really good, and I'm excited to be able to share it with everyone. Depending on the reception to Persona 3 Reload, maybe down the line we'll do Persona 4. But I do know after Persona 3 Reload, we're probably gonna do Shin Megami Tensei 3, because I was saying I was going to do that. But in all honesty, I've been having a lot of fun with Persona 3. I don't know what it is. I just like the social links of Persona. Well, most of the characters of Persona 3 more than the confidants. I feel the confidants of Persona 5 could have used a little bit more kick. But with that, though, everyone, I will see everyone next time. I hope you all enjoy the first part of Persona 3 Reload. And again, I hope you look forward to the rest. With that, see you all later.